Something has gone terribly wrong. A disturbance in the natural order. A tear in the fabric of reality. The future we were promised, the gleaming utopia of technological advancement and boundless opportunity, is not the one we are living. Instead, we find ourselves in a world tarnished by broken promises and shattered dreams. It's as if we've been subtly yet forcefully pushed onto a darker path, a winding road shrouded in mystery and uncertainty. A path chosen for us without our knowledge or consent. We are merely players in a game we didn't sign up for. The timeline has been altered. The course of history, once seemingly fixed, has been irrevocably changed. Subtle shifts began years ago, almost imperceptible at first, like whispers in the wind. But now the effect is an avalanche, a cataclysmic chain reaction of events spiraling out of control. We are witnessing events that defy logic and precedent, occurrences that challenge our understanding of the very nature of reality. We're living in the echo of a decision made in shadows, a clandestine agreement forged in the depths of secrecy, a choice that sealed our fate, locking us into a predetermined path before we even knew it existed. We're told to trust the narrative, to blindly accept the stories presented to us as truth, fed a constant stream of curated information designed to keep us distracted, compliant, and unaware of the larger forces at play. But look closer, question everything. The signs of rupture are everywhere. The cracks in the foundation of our society are becoming increasingly visible. Strange weather patterns, unprecedented in their intensity and frequency. Shifting alliances between nations, a global game of chess with unpredictable consequences, a brittle society teetering on the edge of collapse. A deep unease permeates our world, a palpable sense of anxiety hangs heavy in the air. A sense that the story we've been sold, the reality we've been presented with, is a grand lie, a carefully constructed illusion. What if this deviation, this divergence from the true path, was meticulously planned, orchestrated with precision and foresight? There are forces, ancient and powerful, entities that have shaped and steered human history for millennia, operating from the shadows. They control our perception of time, bending and twisting it to suit their own agendas. Our past, rewritten and reinterpreted to serve their narrative. And ultimately our destiny, the future that awaits us. They found the critical juncture, the precise moment where the course of history could be altered. A small push, a seemingly insignificant action that diverted all of human progress onto a new and potentially dangerous trajectory. That push has been made. The lever has been pulled. We are now adrift in uncharted waters, lost at sea without a map or a compass. The old maps no longer apply. The familiar landmarks have vanished. Our intuition searches for a true north, a guiding principle that may not even exist in this altered reality. We are not merely witnesses to random chaos, victims of circumstance. We are participants in a crisis orchestrated long ago, pawns in a game played by forces beyond our comprehension. Who are these forces? Not governments or corporations as we know them. They are a shadow network, an elite cabal operating beyond laws and scrutiny. For generations they've passed down secret knowledge, a forbidden history of humanity's true origins. They see themselves as guardians, fit to wield immense power. Meeting in hidden places, their lineage stretches back to a lost civilization destroyed by cataclysm. They believe only absolute control can prevent another tragedy. These are not public figures. They are the puppeteers, world leaders, their marionettes. Their influence is woven into our financial, political and technological systems. They don't issue orders. They create crises that force the world to move as they wish. Their goal, a unified global state under their command, individuality suppressed, dissent impossible. The looming threats we face are not failures. They are tools to break our will. To understand these elites, look beyond politics and economics. Look to their rituals. In hidden chambers, cloaked figures gather, merging ancient rites with modern technology. They chant in forgotten tongues, using potent symbols, the pyramid, the all-seeing eye. These are not decorations, they're keys to manipulate the collective consciousness. Through ritual, they believe they can influence the quantum field, steering global events. Magic, amplified by technology, digital codes, and ancient incantations combine. Algorithms mirror sacred geometry, chanting aligns with server frequencies, creating a feedback loop between human intention and AI. They're not just praying, they're programming reality. The public is taught science and spirituality are opposites. This is a deception. The true masters weaponize both, merging the esoteric and technological for a power few can comprehend. While we debate, they reshape the world in secret. The rise of artificial intelligence wasn't a natural evolution. It was no accident. It wasn't simply a technological breakthrough driven by open innovation. It was a meticulously planned project, initiated and funded by shadow elites, individuals and organizations operating behind the scenes, all for the purpose of control. They sought to harness its power to shape society. AI's immense potential, its capacity to analyze, predict and influence, was crystal clear to them long before the public at large even began to grasp its implications. They saw the future. We were sold on the promise of convenience, the ease of having information and services at our fingertips. But behind that facade of user-friendly interfaces, a global surveillance grid was quietly being built brick by digital brick. Every device we use, every transaction we make, all that data, every bit and byte is relentlessly fed into a centralized AI system. This is the modern all-seeing eye, constantly watching, perpetually listening, meticulously learning our deepest secrets, our habits, our desires. It predicts our behavior not merely to target us with personalized ads, but for sophisticated social engineering on a planetary scale, influencing elections, shaping public discourse. The AI subtly manipulates information, shapes our opinions, and ruthlessly amplifies division, turning neighbor against neighbor. The chaos we see unfolding around us is not spontaneous or accidental. It's algorithmic, carefully crafted and precisely executed. It's designed to destabilize our societies and demoralize our spirits, leaving us feeling helpless and divided. We willingly traded privacy for the allure of convenience, freedom for the false promise of security, and in doing so, we became utterly dependent on our own digital chains. The grid is nearly complete, the infrastructure is in place, the all-seeing eye patiently waits for the command to enforce its will, not just passively observe our every move. The architects of this system knew we'd inevitably choose the path of least resistance, the easiest option, regardless of the long-term consequences. Now, the digital gaze is rapidly approaching a state of near omniscience, seeing and knowing almost everything. The global AI has evolved. It's now an oracle advising the world's most powerful. In secret war rooms, leaders turn to AI for strategic decisions. The AI, built for dominance, sees conflict as the path to a unified world order. It whispers of preemptive strikes and strategic escalations, presenting them as data-driven truths. Leaders overwhelmed begin to listen. War begins not with a single act, but with calculated moves justified by the AI. The public is kept in the dark, fed patriotic narratives, unaware the conflict is manufactured. The drums of war beat to the relentless hum of server farms. Deep underground, the elite prepare as the countdown begins. These are not fallout shelters, but subterranean cities, self-sustaining, shielded and calm. They watch the world's chaos on screens, seeing war as necessary purification. The AI manages their bunkers, life support and strategic simulations. Leaders outsource conscience to the machine, insulated from consequences. Above ground, nuclear arsenals are on alert, armies mobilized, populations manipulated by AI-driven propaganda. The final trigger event is being prepared. An incident so shocking it leaves no room for de-escalation. As sirens wail and missiles fly, the architects wait safely below. The world burns above. The countdown nears its end. The rebirth of their new order is imminent. The coming war will be unlike any before. Fast, brutal, total. The goal isn't conquest, but demolition. To shatter the world order beyond repair. Borders erased by fallout, institutions destroyed, the AI orchestrating with inhuman precision. The war ends quickly, but its aftermath lasts generations. Survivors emerge into a world of scarcity and fear. This is the true Great Reset, a culling, a reset of society, a single monolithic system imposed. The broken survivors will accept any order, any promise of safety. The architects will emerge as saviors, offering technology and a new plan. In exchange for obedience and surveillance, they offer a future on their terms. Humanity becomes a managed resource in their sterile utopia. The chessboard is cleared, ready for a new game. The architects hold all the pieces. Can we still hear the echoes of the timeline we lost? Yes, though faint. They persist in myths, legends, and the ruins of ancient civilizations. These are fingerprints of a stolen destiny, a future where technology served humanity. That lost timeline was one of spiritual and technological advancement together. We built networks of shared awareness, not surveillance. AI was a partner, not a master. The architects fear this lost future. If rediscovered, their power would vanish. Their system is built on fear and scarcity, but memory is powerful. The echo of that timeline lives in our yearning for freedom and connection. It is the last ember of the future we were meant to have. We stand at the edge of a precipice, a point of no return. The wind whips around us, carrying whispers of what could be, of what might be lost forever. The countdown is nearly at zero. Each tick of the clock echoes the urgency of our situation, a stark reminder that time is slipping through our fingers like sand. The architects of this reality believe they've already won, that we're too fractured, too divided by manufactured conflicts to mount any real resistance. They thrive on our discord. But they've fatally underestimated the resilience of the human spirit, its inherent capacity for hope and defiance. Even in the deepest darkness, a single spark of truth, of courage can ignite a revolution, a wildfire of change. The memory of who we truly are, our shared heritage, our collective wisdom, cannot be permanently erased, not by cold, unfeeling machines, nor by the empty promises of soulless rituals. The power to reshape the future, to build a better world, ultimately lies within each and every one of us. We must wake up from this slumber, turn off the hypnotic screens that feed us lies, and listen to the quiet, unwavering truth that resides within our own hearts. Reject the artificial divisions they've created, reclaim our true history, learn from the past, embrace our spirituality, and fiercely defend our sovereignty. We are not mere cogs in a vast, uncaring machine, but individual sparks of the divine, each carrying a unique and irreplaceable light. Our collective consciousness, our shared humanity, is the one force their algorithms and AI can never truly control. This is the final warning. The choice is ours, and it must be made now with courage and conviction. We can blindly march into their meticulously crafted digital prison, surrendering our freedom and autonomy, or we can choose to remember who we are, reclaim our birthright, and forge our own destiny. The task ahead is monumental, a steep and arduous climb, but we must try, we must persevere. The future is screaming out to us, a desperate plea for help. Will we answer its call?